To see the images as I make reference to them, and the guys are gonna place them. But you're not gonna be completely lost because the script will tell you what's going on. So, without further ado, I see Rex is gone, but does that mean that the band is gone? Did Rex just leave, Brian, and just say sayonara, we'll see you later, or he's coming back? Please, I want to thank Jose once again for sound, and my friend Brian finally for putting this all together. Thank you all for coming out. Another minute or so, we're going to have Aztec Two-Step and the Simon Garfunkel songbook. So thank you so much for being here. On place and ready to do what we're doing. You'll also hear me make reference to our camera guys. Camera's all up and running. Everybody's got a visual there. Very cool. My lovely other half has got their sheets. All right, so we're going to be another minute or so. Please, obviously, sit tight, relax for a moment, and we're going to bring you some music. We've got a bunch of songs lined up from the songbook, and again, it's a different feel from the original Aztec Two-Step, but it's one that I'm sure you will absolutely be delighted by. So, stick around. Playing the role of Duncan in this evening. I just forgot a light for myself. That's the one thing that I forgot. So Simon and Garfunkel started out life as Tom and Jerry, believe it or not. 1956, they had a hit song, "Hey Schoolgirl." And big hit song, and they did American Bandstand and all that stuff. Then after that, they struggled collectively and individually to have another hit record. They just couldn't make it happen. And they went through that for 8 years, going back and forth. Paul Simon recorded records as Truth Taylor. He formed a duo with Carole King called the Cosigns, when she was still Carol Klein. And nothing happened. Then the folk rock boom thing hit. And 1964, they recorded an album called Wednesday Morning at 3 a.m. Anybody remember that? Okay. So, folk record, totally acoustic, and it had traditional folk songs, contemporary songs by other songwriters, and 5 original Simon and Garfunkel songs. Wednesday Morning 3 a.m. flopped. Bombed. So Paul Simon moved to England. Art Garfunkel came back to Queens and went to Columbia University where he studied architecture. Hence that song, "So Long, Frank Lloyd Wright." Okay. And as far as they were concerned, they were breaking up. They were done. But really, they were just taking a break from what turned out to be, a rocky restart to the musical partnership they formed in 1952. So again, like I said, Wednesday Morning 3 a.m. bombs. But as George mentioned, and as Pete always talked about, there was a fellow named Tom Wilson, big hero. Tom Wilson was the guy who produced a whole bunch of records you have in your collection. Dylan, Pete Seeger, etc. And he also produced Like a Rolling Stone. And on the day that Like a Rolling Stone was recorded, what he did was he had been thinking about and loving this song from Simon and Garfunkel's first album called The Sound of Silence. He loved it and just wondered why it hadn't made it. It got a little bit of airplay in Boston, a little bit of airplay in New York, and a little bit down in Florida, oddly enough. And he had no idea what was going to happen, why the song didn't make it. And he decided, I got these guys here, I'm going to take the acoustic version of Sounds of Silence, and I'm going to hold back a few of the musicians working with Dylan, and we're going to record an electric backing to Sounds of Silence. So they put it out as a single. Columbia Records puts it out as a single. It shoots up the charts. It goes to #1. Art Garfunkel has to call Paul Simon up and say, we have that hit record that we've been trying to get. So Paul has to come back from England to now celebrate for this record that they had absolutely nothing to do with, but it's a #1 record. So I've gotten you through the Tom and Jerry, and I saw Rex peek in. Rex, do we have a Rex in the house? Rex? Rex? Where'd he go? Can you see if we've got the guys? This is the story that usually begins the show, and then I say, ladies and gentlemen, Aztec Two-Step, and then it's all out. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. That was cool how that worked, yeah? Will you please welcome Rex Fowler, Dodie, Pettit, Roues, Aztec Two-Step. How you feeling?
Never better.
All right. This is good.
Oh, I might as well play.
You may as well plug the guitar in. Otherwise, it'll be a very quiet evening of music here. We'll hear you up here, but they won't hear you out here. Again, when we do this quote, for real, it's a little more organized. For now, it's going to be a lot of stand-up comedy for me. Sit down.
What a wonderful show. I mean, presentation just
Thank you.
melted my heart. Proud to have gotten to first being played on the radio by Pete, but then over the years going in for interviews and then finally culminating with our Simon Garfunkel project. So I don't know how much you've mentioned that yet or not.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for coming out tonight. Sheila and sweet little Sheila.
Little Tommy Rowe,
Thanks
actually.
for the plug for the album. That was great.
So I'll start as I usually start. How's everybody feeling tonight? What's the appropriate answer on Simon Garfunkel show? There you go.
Everything has just right. Yeah, this is about the most just right thing to do.